All right, hello. Last question for this one, at least the last mathy question. And it asks us about this supply curve, which is given by pi equals pi bar plus 1/10 output gap plus s. And then we're going to add time dynamics using this equation. So let's write the output gap first of all with some time scripts. So we have pi t is equal to pi bar t. So pi bar t in this problem is going to be a time-dependent variable. Okay. And we also have an update rule for pi bar, not for pi itself. So this is important to notice. T plus pi bar t. So the first thing you need to notice is that the state variable is pi bar, right? Because we have a t plus 1 here and we have a t. Pi t, and we only have t. We have t, and yt, we only have a t, st, we only have a t. So the state variable is pi bar t. So let's solve for pi bar t. We can just plug in pi t here. So we'll get pi bar t plus 1 is equal to 1/2 times pi bar t. I'm writing down this equation from the top, plus, I'm going to write that as 1/10. Sure, yt minus y bar plus st plus pi bar t. And so we have a 1 here and 1 here. We'll put them together as 2, and then we multiply it by half is 1. So we'll end up with pi bar t plus 1 is equal to pi bar t plus 1/2 times a 10th is a 20th, 1/20th yt minus y bar plus 1/2 st. So this is our update rule. And you can see that we could use this update rule to get the jumper pi t. Actually, this yt minus y bar is like another shock. It's totally exogenous. We don't know anything about how to compute this, so we need to be given it. And indeed, we see in the question that it says that it's going to be 10, and then later it's going to be, they will let the output gap return to 0, so it'll be 0. So let's make a table, and because we're going to compute some time steps. Let's make a table. We'll put time here, and then we're going to have pi bar t, and we're going to have pi t. And at time 0, we're given values. We're given that we have 2 and 2. Okay? So using these two numbers, plus the gap is 10, we can compute pi bar t plus 1. In fact, let's just write down the numbers. So we want to go to pi bar 1 using the data for zeros. And we'll use our update equation over here. So pi bar 0 is 2 plus 1/20th of the output gap, which is 10, and the shock is 0. So we're going to get 2 plus 10 over 20 is a half, so it's going to be 2.5. So time 1, we get 2.5. Now we know the state variable, we update the jumper variable. So pi 1, using this equation, is going to be equal to pi bar 1. See, the t and the t are the same, so we use the one we just computed, 2.5, plus 1/10 of the output gap, which is 10. And so that will be 3.5. 3.5. So, and it says that we're going to keep the output gap at 10 until inflation reaches 4. So we're looking over here, it's not 4 yet, so let's go again. So we do the same computation again. We're going to compute pi bar 2, just applying the update rule. Pi bar 2 is going to be equal to pi bar 1, which is 2.5, plus 1 over 20 times the output gap, which is 10. So same computation, we're just going to add a half, and we get 3.0. So time 2, we get 3.0. And then pi 2, we update using pi bar 2, using this equation, which will be 3.0 plus 1/10 of 10, which is 1, and so we get to 4. 4.0. So now we've reached the target inflation, and so the the monetary authority, the authority is going to put the gap back to 0. So let's do that. Let's do a couple more steps. At time 3 for pi bar 3, we're going to have, it's going to be pi bar 2, which is 3, plus 1/20th of the output gap, which is 0. So this is just going to be 3. So that stays put. And if we then update here, pi t is going to be equal to the same 3 plus 0.1 times 0. So 1/10 of 0 is 0. And so we stay at, we don't stay anywhere. We go back to 3. And now the economy is in equilibrium. You can see that if I plug in, if we do another round, we'll have that pi bar t plus 1 is equal to pi bar t. So that will stay at 3. And then pi t will be equal to pi bar t. So we'll be at 3. So it takes only one time step to go back to the equilibrium. And that equilibrium value in this case is 3.0. So I think that answers the question adequately. Yeah, we have one time step. So B is one time step. And we even know that the equilibrium is pi bar t equals pi t equals 3. Okay, cool. I will see you in the next one.